Who would have believed that Dennis Lillee would be struck for 18 in an over? The first 4 balls all being dispatched for 4 to different parts of the field by Kallicharran. 3 on the leg side and 1 a very thick edge, a flash on the off.
So I want to talk to you about one of the most talked about moments of your career, 1975 World Cup. One of the top bowlers at the time, one of the fastest bowlers at the time, Dennis Lillee of Australia. You took him to the cleaners, top innings there, and still a lot of people talk about that. That is way before the T20 era, of course. What was your mindset as you went in there, and how did you overcome one of the greatest fast bowlers of the time?
Well, mindset is one thing. When I always teach people and teach kids. You face the cricket ball, not the bowler. All right. So, what's going to injure you? Cricket ball. Right. He can't hit me from such a long distance. Cricket ball will hit me. So the dangerous thing you focus on is cricket ball. But at the same time, that's not showing any disrespect to anybody. At that time, he was arguable among the top quickest in the world. Lillie, Thompson. Right. Then we only had Andy Roberts in that era. So these were the top boys in that period. And what helps sometimes is growing up in West Indies, we grew up in a diet of fast bowling.
Right, so you're well prepared.
You're well prepared, so we're used to that. But at the same time, facing a bowler 95 to 100 miles an hour.
On the biggest stage of all.
Exactly, center stage. Because at that time, Australia was in number 1 team then. They were the number 1 team in the world. So people do respect them and fear them. As a matter of fact, before that game, they sent over 4 Sri Lankans to hospital. And if you may read about it, they sent over 4 Sri Lankans to hospital. And we were playing Australia next.
Right. So what was the talk like in the dressing room after that incident with Sri Lanka?
Well...
Or that didn't come up?
That didn't come, we failure. So, but at the same time, everybody had some sort of, playing against Australia,
right,
the top team in the world. It's the build-up to the final. That's the build-up to the final. But in batting sometimes when it clicks.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you about that. What worked for you that day? Was it a planned thing or things just happened?
No, I just went out to bat. Just went out to bat. And things started to click.
Yeah.
And the more aggressive he became, the more aggressive I became.
Fought fire with fire.
Fight fire with fire. Yeah. Because you can't give up in that situation like that. You have to fight fire with fire. Right. And then everything worked out.
Right. And in those days, you hadn't any protective gear, so that made the innings even more special.
Yep. The only thing we had was the cap, and sometimes we couldn't afford to pay for a West Indies cap. Right? So it was bareheaded or nothing. There's no chest pad, there's no helmets, there's no arm guard, just a pair of gloves.
So back then you had to pay for a West Indies cap?
Well, they take it out of your money too.
So I guess the only disappointment that day was not getting 100.
Yeah, well, if you're going to play like that sometimes, at some stage.
Like high-risk cricket.
High-risk cricket. When you play cricket at that level, and in that situation, when you're in that kind of zone.
Right. You could be dismissed anytime.
You can play, you can pick the wrong ball, but when it clicks like that, it's...
And did you guys have a chat after? A friendly chat, I hope?
It's not friendly as that. There's a bit of languages going.
Yeah. Not words for the camera.
Not words for the camera, and it's only, and not even the Queen's vocabulary. Yeah, it's not in the book. Yeah, right. But that's the way Australians play. The aggression they use. Right. They are aggressive by nature. So you know what you're up against when you play against them.
Kallicharran has launched on Lillie here this afternoon.